Hey guys, welcome to the world of eyebrows. I'm your host, your model, and your teacher, Jasmine. Over here, I just kind of shadowed out a little bit of my eyebrows up in the front, so that way I could demonstrate to you guys how to do the front of the eyebrow. This is the toughest part. I get asked by the clients over and over again, how do I know where to fill in the eyebrow up in the front? How do I fill it up in the front where it doesn't look so crazy and dark? So this is the show for you. And if you know someone that can benefit from this, well, please tell them, please subscribe, so that way you will get the tip and you can always let them know, or you guys know that you'll get the latest tips and the most important things to learn about eyebrows. Because let's face it, it is really the hardest thing to do if you don't have the basics. I'm going to give you guys a little bit of my brow tutorial that I post on my Instagram. And this one particularly shows you guys how to fill in the front of the eyebrow using a brow stencil. You don't have to use a stencil. This just helps. And it's a great tool to use if you don't have a lot of your own hair. But as far as the mapping out the eyebrows, the golden ratio, which is by Anastasia Beverly Hills, it also helps in just how far you go into your eyebrow. So let me just show you quickly the brow video. I'll talk you guys through it, and then we will do it together. How's that? You guys ready? Okay, so as you guys can tell, obviously, I am already sectioning off the eyebrow, and I'm using the pinch of the nose to draw that line in. That's gonna help me guide where to put the stencil on. And the most important area for this eyebrow, well, today we're gonna just focus the front of the eyebrow. And if you guys already have Anastasia Beverly Hills stencils, you will see that it's really easy to use if you get down to the marking part. And I'm using a Brow pencil to kind of fill in the inside. There you go. The brow, but you can use a powder, whatever you feel most comfortable with. And as you can see, once you pull off the stencil, you really get that nice guide as to where to fill in the eyebrows. Now the highlighters and any of these little white concealer or foundation can really help clean out any of the edges of the eyebrow, as you can see on the eyebrows here that I've done. Pretty cool, right? Anastasia has created 5 different styles. Today, I'm gonna just use a medium, the medium style stencils, you guys, are to help guide, to help aid in filling in your eyebrows, and it can also help in tweezing your eyebrows. So if you use a stencil to fill in the whole eyebrow, you can tweeze any of the hairs around the stencil. If you haven't done that already, try it out. So again, today we're just gonna focus on the front parts of the eyebrow stencil. And the front part, what I mean is right here, right? This is why I am missing this front part here. Now, as I've shown you on the video, just mapping it out is really just always at the pinch of your nose, right here. Okay, so I'm just gonna lay it right at the pinch of the nose, see, right there. And then I just go straight up and down. And if you want, you can just make a really light mark. I don't know if you can see that, but I made a little dot there. Okay, so now let's do the arch of the eyebrow. The arch of the eyebrow is the middle, right here, right? So that's where you're gonna still use the pinch of the nose, lay it flat, and go right in the middle of your eyeball, right there. And you notice that it's in an angle, right? That's where you know where your arch is. See, I'm just gonna make a little extra line right there. We could erase that later. Okay, so those are the 2 most important areas. Now here's the trick. How do you hold the stencil? If you hold it like this, you're like, oh, I'm missing a hand now, right? How do I draw it in? So you're gonna use one of your hands. If you're right-handed, obviously you're gonna hold the stencil with your left hand. If you're left-handed, vice versa. So hold the stencil, and I always like to put the thumb behind the stencil and the rest of the fingers over it. But again, you can also just use both of your hands to see where you're gonna get it on first, and then you can kind of, the great thing about this silicone is that it warms up to the heat of your body. So once you get it on there and hold it down, once you're warmed up, it really just kind of nicely sticks on there, so you don't have to worry about like really holding it down. You just need to just basically, see, there you go. It's sticking on me already. Okay, so see that line right there? That's the perfect part, because you just get a line it right there, and you want to get most of your eyebrow hair inside that little the circle. Okay, so most of it, because I know some of us don't have a lot of hair, so you're like, most of where? Just get whatever hair you have in there. See, so you line up that line there, and notice how this line that I made in the arch is, wow, it's almost perfectly in the line in the middle there. Now I say don't worry about this part, because see, sometimes, you know, the ends can go over here, over there. That gets a little, we'll do that another day, right? So just mainly get it right over here and lay it right on the arch. Now once I've laid it down, that's when I use my left hand, because I'm right-handed. Just get it right here, and see how see my hand is over my forehead, and I'm just resting it right there. And like I said, you guys can use a pencil or a powder. It doesn't really matter. You can, with the powder, you can just kind of slough the color on there. With the pencil, you just put the pencil in and just kind of go around. I just marked my fingernail there. Okay, so, and don't press so hard. You just need to press a tiny bit. Just so that you can get the color on there. And you don't need to go fill in inside. The idea is to get the outline of the front. Okay, so I'm getting the front outline right over here. And then I'm going to remove the stencil. Oh, there you go. Now, obviously, by looking at this eyebrow up in the front and this one, it's different, right? The most important thing to remember is that this is aligned with this. So it's in the same direction right there, right? That's the most important thing, because that is the hardest thing, right? So the fun thing is now is you fill in the eyebrow right in that little gap there, and you could build upon that. So that's why the stencils are brilliant, that even though it gives you a guide, it's not something you have to stick with. Once you've gotten that color in there and you get it where it's supposed to go, that's when you can build it, make it a little fuller if you like. So I can use the pencil or I can use the powder. Just because you mapped it out with the pencil doesn't mean that you have to use a pencil. You can go back and forth, use a pencil, use a powder. And right here, I don't know if you guys can tell, but that mark was made by that stencil. So that was really easy. It's another area where we tend to go a little thin here, because we always want that arch. So we open up that area, and it's not the most attractive look, trust me. So if you guys have it opened up here, do a little line here. If you create a little line right here, it makes a huge difference, trust me. Okay, so we fill in the inside of the eyebrows right here. Sometimes I like the powder because the powder can make it go on lighter, because if you tend to be heavy-handed, try the powder. If you're a little bit used to the pencil, that's fine too. So here I go. I'm going inside that front, and I'm going up here now because it's a little too skinny on the bottom, so I'm going up because I want it a little bit fuller. Barely touching with the brush. It's kind of working, right? And I didn't have to do much. You guys see that? I didn't struggle. I'm just kind of tapping in that color in there without having to do too much. And that's pretty much it. I hope that helped. And if you guys know that someone else could benefit from this, please let them know, and definitely subscribe so that way you guys can get more of my tips. Thanks for your time, and I will see you guys later. Bye.